We shouldn't have come here. But by the time we realized it, it was too late. Andre was the first to break down. He just sat there, staring at the screen where he saw himself die. Then, Valera disappeared. And I saw a video on my phone, titled, "For Alexander." And it showed me dying in this forest. Could we not have parked any closer? I asked, shrugging off a heavy backpack that felt like it weighed half a ton. No chance, buddy. You can see for yourself. You can barely squeeze through here on foot, let alone a truck, Valera replied, dropping his own gear to the forest floor. We've been dragging ourselves through this hell for 2 hours, Andre grumbled, collapsing onto a fallen log. You said the cabin was just around the corner. Quit whining. 20 minutes more and we're there, Valera muttered, taking a long, desperate swig from his water bottle. I looked around. Something was wrong. This forest, it felt heavy. There was a crushing silence, broken only by the occasional violent groan of ancient trees. The brush was so thick we were practically crawling, even though Valera claimed we were only 3 kilometers from the car. But the strangest part? The cold. A biting, unnatural chill that made me shiver, even though it was a scorching summer day outside the tree line. The sun simply refused to penetrate the canopy, leaving us in a world of perpetual twilight.
"So Valera," Andre asked, tearing into a sandwich, "what's the deal with this cabin? How do you even know about it?" "It's a long story," Valera said darkly, "but I'll tell you on the way, just to break the silence." We hoisted our packs and followed him deeper into the gloom. "This forest is ancient," Valera began, his voice low. "Some say it's been here since the dawn of time. People talk about demons, witches, gates to hell, even cults that spilled innocent blood here. But here's the real story. In the early 1900s, a scientist came here to prove the legends were true. He built a shack, studied the land, kept detailed journals, and then he vanished. They never found the body." Valera ducked under a branch. In the mid-90s, my father hid here from the mob. He stumbled upon the cabin and stayed for months until things cooled down. He fixed the roof, patched the walls. He loved the place. Even after he moved back to the city and started a family, he'd come back here every single summer. I never understood why it pulled him back like a magnet, until he told me what he found.
"What did he find?" Andre asked, wiping sweat from his forehead. "The scientist's journals, and something else. One summer, a massive forest fire broke out. The whole region was burning, but the fire, it avoided the cabin. It wouldn't even touch the clearing. That same evening, my father set some traps for game. As the sun went down, he heard it. A howl. A sound so terrifying it made his hair stand on end. He grabbed his shotgun and a flashlight. The air smelled like rotting meat, the stench of death. Then he heard the clink of chains. Something had stepped into a trap, snapped the iron chain, and was now sprinting directly at him. He bolted inside and locked the door. A massive blow shook the house. When the door held, the thing smashed through the window. Valera stopped walking, his eyes wide. It wasn't a man. It wasn't an animal. It had a massive head with twitching human-like limbs sprouting from it. 3 eyes in each socket, tusks like an elephant. It dragged itself on 3 mismatched legs, one of them still trailing my father's trap. My father fired. The first shot hit the chest, but the thing just kept coming. It snapped my father's arm like a dry twig and lifted him by the throat.
As it opened its maw to bite off his head, my father pulled a hunting knife and drove it deep into the creature's left eye. The monster screamed, threw him against the wall, and leaped back out the window. My father passed out from the pain. "So, why did he keep coming back?" I whispered.
to hunt it, Valera replied. And here we are, home sweet home. The cabin was surprisingly well kept, almost like a cottage. We settled in, started the generator, and cooked some meat. But the atmosphere was heavy. You didn't come here for a vacation, did you? I asked Valera once we were alone. My dad finished that monster, Valera said, staring into the fire. But it was just one of the scientists' experiments. Who knows what else is watching us from the trees right now? I told you, this place is wrong. Don't leave the house after dark. Later that night, we went to check on Andre. He was sitting on the floor, facing the wall. His body was shaking. His hair, I swear, had turned white in patches. In front of him sat an ancient TV and a VCR, flickering with white noise. "Where did this come from?" Valera shouted. "My father brought this gear here years ago, but it disappeared after he died." Andre didn't move. Valera slapped him hard, snapping him out of the trance.
There were bloody arrows on the floor, Andre sobbed. They led me here. There was a tape with my name on it. I watched it. It was me. I was running through the woods, screaming, while something filmed me from behind. I saw my own face, twisted in a mask of pure terror. And then I saw myself die. Valera turned pale. He's a dead man. He saw his own end. That scientist, he trapped an ancient evil inside these machines. It feeds on visions. It lures you in, forces you to watch your own demise. And once you've seen the tape, the ending never changes. Suddenly, a shadow flickered in the hall. The front door slammed shut. From outside, we heard heavy, rapid footsteps. Then, a wet, thudding sound. A scream that echoed through the trees. Then silence. Andre was gone. "It's my fault," Valera wept. "I shouldn't have brought you here." "We have to stay together," I said, grabbing a heavy chair. "We have to smash those machines." I threw the TV against the wall, but it didn't even scratch. It wasn't even plugged in, yet the screen kept glowing with that hideous white noise. The rest of the night was a descent into madness. I started seeing things. Bloody messages on the ceiling. A voice whispering in my ear, "You are mine." Black slime oozed from the walls. Then the lights died. Something grabbed my leg and dragged me toward the door. I clawed at the floorboards until my fingernails ripped off. I saw Valera's face peel away, revealing a grinning skull. Something began to eat my leg, piece by piece. I screamed and woke up on the couch. My leg was fine. It was a vision. But Valera couldn't take it anymore. He had watched his tape. "Andre is waiting for me," he said quietly. He tossed me the car keys and walked out into the night. I heard the sound of tearing flesh, one final cry, and then nothing. I survived. I sat there until the sun touched the horizon. I burned that cabin to the ground and ran until I hit the highway. I made it back. But 3 days later, I found a new folder on my phone. Inside was a single video file. The title read, "For Alexander."